Hello, my name is Berkeley Freeman. I live in Virginia with my mom, my dad, my younger brother, and our wonderful dog. I currently work at my dance school as an assistant teacher, and I also work at my church with the preschoolers. I love reading, writing, dancing, and of course, watching Netflix. And I also love missions. God has really allowed me to go to many places and to serve Him in places such as Nicaragua, China, Boston, and Ukraine. And in America, I've been able to travel a lot because my dad is an evangelist. And what that means is that he's a preacher and he goes to different churches and he'll preach for them kind of as a guest speaker. I am currently a senior in high school, and I'm also enrolled into Liberty University's EDGE program. And what that means is that I started taking college classes as a junior. And this year I will be graduating, and I will actually move to Liberty in the fall. So I'm very excited for what God has in store for me there. I am currently pursuing a communications degree because one day I really hope to be a public speaker and an author. I love the idea of sharing what God has done for me in my life to other people. So I hope that through this class I learn more about the skills and mechanics behind public speaking. I hope that I'll learn how to speak in a way that is influential and persuasive to other people. As I mentioned before, I love missions, and I went on my first mission trip when I was 12 years old. Me and my mom went to Nicaragua, which is a third world country in Central America. And a little fun fact about 12-year-old me was that I was terrified of everything. I had a lot of irrational fears, so the idea of going on a mission trip really scared me, but I knew that that's what God was calling me to do. So I am so thankful that I went because Nicaragua really changed my life and I learned a lot from that trip. So we were there for about a week, and while we were there, I was on the VBS team, and what we did was we would sing Spanish songs with the kids, we would teach them Bible stories and play games with them and just have a lot of fun with them. And I was also on the door-to-door evangelism team, and what we did on that team was we would go out to the different houses and we would witness to the people. And what I learned from that was that the living conditions in Nicaragua are very different from what we're used to here in America. In America, we have houses and we have air conditioning and refrigerators and we have nice walls and floors and ceilings. But in Nicaragua, they don't have those things. For their houses, they're made out of trash bags and sticks, and they have dirt floors, and many of them don't even have beds, and they definitely don't have any electricity or air conditioning. And it is very hot in Nicaragua. Food, for one thing, is not a definite factor for them like it is for us. For us, we can go to the store, go to a restaurant, but for them, they don't have that. And also, they have to walk to a well in order to get their water. And for some of them, that means that they have to walk miles and miles to the nearest well, carrying heavy buckets just to get a bucket full of dirty water to give their family. So while I was on that team, I was expecting to meet a lot of people that were negative and were unhappy and ungrateful, which is exactly how I would be if I lived there. But what surprised me was how open the people were to listening to us and how they weren't as negative as I thought they would be. They were really interested in Christianity and they were willing to listen to what we had to say. And for them in Nicaragua who are Christians, they weren't ungrateful to God. They weren't cursing God for the little they had, but instead they were thankful for what He had given them. They knew that while they didn't have a lot, they did have Him, and they had a relationship with Him, and that's all that mattered. And meeting them changed my life in many ways because it taught me that, yes, things and possessions, they can be nice, but they're not eternal, and they're not the most important thing in life. In life, our goal is to serve Christ and to be obedient to Him and to love others as He's loved us. And so I learned that great value, and I learned that I need to put others' needs before my own. So going to Nicaragua really changed me in many ways, and it encouraged me to go on more mission trips and to study communications so that I can tell others about the adventures that God has led me on. Thank you.